now. The man in the mask, Christoph Metzelder, suffering from a broken nose. The champions of England against the champions of Germany. Both lying second in their respective leagues. Both can qualify for the second phase tonight. So plenty at stake and plenty to look forward to, David Fairclough.
Almost definitely, John, in front of their home fans in such a highly charged atmosphere. I'm certain we'll see a big physical effort from Borussia. And then coming out at Arsenal, I'm sure there will be spaces there for Arsenal flair to exploit.
This is Torsten Frings and now Christoph Metzelder. If Arsenal win or draw, they're through. And even if they lose, they'll still qualify if Auxerre fail to win the other Group A game at PSV Eindhoven tonight. And I hope, needless to say, we will keep you bang up to date with events in Eindhoven throughout the course of the evening. This is Lauren preparing to take the throw for Arsenal. Ewerthon. And through the middle is Lars Ricken. Arsenal split asunder again. It's Lars Ricken off the post. 70 seconds played. Borussia Dortmund a couple of inches away from embarrassing Arsenal again.
Well, the stadium held its breath as Ricken raced through the centre. An ocean of space between Cygan and Campbell. And really, he looked to have done everything right. A little bit of a let-off for Arsenal.
Now on the counter, offside given against Robert Pirés. The most alarming thing, David, though, was as for Dwight Yorke's goal for Blackburn at Highbury on Saturday, the way in which the much vaunted Arsenal defence was just split open.
Most definitely. Campbell sort of again dragged into the position that he was for that effort by Blackburn, and Cygan really was caught. Then he was too far apart, so there was a big space in between the two big centre-backs. But the warning signs are there, obviously.
Dortmund should be in front. We knew this would be a really difficult assignment. Borussia Dortmund are the informed team, along with Bayern in the Bundesliga. The only remaining unbeaten team in the German league. And since they lost at Highbury 6 weeks ago, 6 wins, 2 draws, 15 goals scored and only 4 conceded. Here's Frings. Forward towards the giant Koller, who's beaten by Cygan. Kehl got the better of Vieira. Frings. And now Dédé, one of the trio of Brazilians. Henry fouled by Sebastian Kehl, who's a fairly rugged customer.
Very much so. Took a little bit of a chance right under the nose of the referee. A little bit of a let-off, I think. There was certainly no intention to play the ball. He was well too late. He isn't the fastest of players, Kehl.
You mean he's slow?
Apparently very slow.
Pascal Cygan's place, I think, was under threat for this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised perhaps that we did hear rumours that there was a change in the offing. Maybe the power and the physical side of things from Ljungberg, I think, might have added a little bit of steel back there.
Pirés. Now Henry.
Well, certainly that will encourage Arsenal. Neat build-up. Pirés getting on the ball. Nice early touch for him, and obviously Henry seeing a bit of the ball is what Arsenal fans will want to see. He's certainly the danger man. Has been in Europe so far.
Dortmund playing with 3 up front this evening. Koller, Ewerthon and Ricken. Metzelder. And again Sebastian Kehl. Kehl and Frings and Metzelder and Wörns, all current German internationals. But this is a current Swedish international, Freddie Ljungberg. Faced by Evanilson. Pirés. Interesting to see how long he lasts tonight. Henry. Now Vieira had the luxury of sitting out the Blackburn game in the Premiership at the weekend, as he will at Fulham on Sunday. Lauren. Henry. Lauren may come for Wiltord, just ran out of space.
Just a little bit too sharp by Henry, I thought. Perhaps that was an occasion he might have just held it up slightly. It was always going to be difficult to pick out Lauren. The ball was fed quite hard into Henry's feet. Could have just held it up, just brought one or two other players, play one or two other players in.
What do you make of Arsenal's formation, David? It's almost as if Henry's playing as a lone striker with Wiltord to his right and Ljungberg to his left in support.
Yeah, that's right. More 4-3-2-1. I thought perhaps Wiltord might have had the freer role. Instead, he and Ljungberg have been sort of interchanging really in that little area behind. I think there will be at times they will get the ball in there. They will find a lot of space.
That's an offside. It's rare that Arsène Wenger departs from his trusted 4-4-2.
I think there's so many comfortable players in Arsenal's side going forward. Ljungberg, Wiltord, it's hard to accommodate them all.
This is Ashley Cole. And now Henry. Certainly Arsenal's lineup will not be what Dortmund expected. Header away by Metzelder, straight back from whence it came. Henry.
Extremely hopeful. Not a shot he would be proud of.
I think you're being kind.
I thought he was going to clear the netting behind the goal, actually. That would have been some feat.
Vieira very clearly sitting just in front of the back four. Gilberto alongside him. And Ljungberg certainly is getting closer to Thierry Henry than any other Arsenal player consistently. Ljungberg. Pirés couldn't quite get there. Wörns was first to it. Ricken. Now Jan Koller. Striding across was Campbell for Arsenal. Pirés. Ljungberg. Henry. Arsenal have scored in 27 consecutive matches in all competitions. And this is Thierry Henry. And that is Arsenal's first corner of the night.
The pace was right. I think it just got slightly heavy touch on the ball. Gave the opportunity for the defender to come across and cut it out. Certainly the type of thing, the move that we were seeing against when they played against Eindhoven in the earlier game.
Campbell, a late arrival for this corner. Too much swerve and curl from Henry in the end.
Important, I think, that Arsenal try and make the most of any opportunities that they're able to cross the ball in from. It's nice for them to hang on to the ball for a little bit at the moment. They are under a little bit of pressure.
Frings. Fell for Ljungberg, who was seeking and has got a free kick.
Well, that was good closing down by Gilberto, and that won the ball, gave the opportunity to Ljungberg to have a run at Dortmund. Then they were exposed, and it took that trailing leg from Kehl to stop Ljungberg.
Took 60-odd minutes of battering away by Arsenal to find a way through Dortmund's mass defence at Highbury. In by Henry. It's gone out for a throw to Borussia Dortmund.
Seems to be delivering those dead balls with some force at the moment, Thierry Henry.
Comfortable place to be a manager here. They have heated seats in the dugouts. Pirés. Wiltord. Again Robert Pirés. And again Sylvain Wiltord.
Well, he couldn't have done much more from that position. He might have expected Henry or Ljungberg perhaps to be trying to get in on that near post.
Lawrence header. Wiltord. Pirés. Ljungberg darting from deep. Henry's up with him. 2 to beat. Good cross. He's heading for Pirés and Metzelder got to it first.
We needed an earlier ball by Ljungberg because Vieira had made a great run down the left channel. It was wide open and Ljungberg just put the ball over to that side.
One good thing, David, tonight at least Dortmund don't play in blue.
Yeah, Arsène Wenger will be relieved, I'm sure.
Dortmund, remember, the side that hit the post after 70 seconds of play through Lars Ricken.
He will be kicking himself now, Ricken, because chances like that don't come along too often.
Significant that major key players are back for Dortmund tonight compared to the side that lined up against Arsenal 6 weeks ago. Rosický, Wörns and Ricken, all unavailable through injury that night. Here is Ricken, and now Rosický, dangerous player. Oh, and just for a moment I thought Seaman might have lost track of that.
Yeah, perhaps the ball just moved slightly across the ground because he thought the ball was going more over to his right-hand side.
Sleight of foot from Thierry Henry. Few better sights in full flow. Oh, it was heading for Vieira. Cut out by Torsten Frings. Now Wörns. Ricken. Christian Wörns has pursued it. Doesn't often get this far forward.
I don't think he wanted to go, really. He gave Ricken the option. Made a yard for himself, Rosický rather. And I don't think he caught it as well as perhaps Seaman first thought. That's the thing that deceived him.
Frings. Easy for Pirés. Couldn't keep it within bounds though. Dortmund have a formidable home record. They've lost only one of their last 16 matches at this ground in the Champions League, going back over the past 6 years. Not like Arsenal until recently, they've got a dreadful away record, only one win in their last 10 trips. Ewerthon. Via Pirés to Ricken, men up in support, Koller wants it early. Frings. Balls for the crossfield ball to Dédé. All too easily past Wiltord. They've now hit both posts, and still the ball hasn't gone in. Maybe Arsenal's luck is turning, but the defending isn't. It was woeful.
Well, really, that should have been a goal. That was easier than Ricken's effort. Great ball in by Dédé, who's very, very comfortable on the ball, wants to get forward, delivered the perfect cross for Koller. Again, what a let-off.
Hard to believe he missed.
Most fans felt that it was going to go in off the post, I'm sure. From this angle it looked like it had.
Well, it hit the inside of the post certainly, and amazingly bounced out again. Koller so close to a goal in 4 consecutive Champions League fixtures. May still come. Arsenal very fragile. Appeals for a penalty, waved away by the referee as Frings went to earth. And this is Ljungberg. Henry. Up to Wiltord. Lauren, Arsenal extremely fortunate still to be level. Vieira. much of a stretch for Gilberto. In nipped Rosický. Koller. Rosický. Kehl. Retrieved by Ricken. Some of the momentum's gone from this Borussia Dortmund attack though.
But that effort has certainly inspired the crowd, because they've gone up a gear a little, you know, with the sound, and it's terrific atmosphere at the moment.
Henry. Pirés. Remember, Arsenal kept clean sheets in their first 3 Champions League group games this season, after going more than a season without one. And they were breached twice by Auxerre, and they should have been breached twice already by Borussia Dortmund. Ewerthon.
Well, this is the chance. Superb cross by Dédé, and he only just has to flick it into towards the corner. He's really gone to be trying to be too clever. He just had to hit the target.
You know what? It could also very easily have rebounded onto Seaman and in, coming off the inside of the post as it did.
It was incredible that he stayed out after coming off the post.
Vieira. Pre-match fires were stoked by Matthias Sammer's comments suggesting that Arsenal were arrogant at Highbury, and he also criticised what he saw as their diving. Not suggesting necessarily that that was. Ljungberg has won Arsenal a free kick in a position of great promise.
Well, I think he made the slightest of contact, Kehl, more with his upper body than with his feet, I think.
Good enough in the way that Ljungberg went to ground for Sammer again to be unhappy. It's a gruesome mask that Metzelder's got.
Not flattering.
So Dortmund have placed 6 in the wall, Arsenal have added 2. This is Henry, and it's 1-0! And that's what you call playing your get-out-of-jail card. And Sammer down on the Dortmund bench is furious at the award of the free kick. His point has been made again.
Well, there was never any doubt that Thierry was going to have a shot at goal, but it's a fabulous free kick. The big wall as well in front of him. He got the ball over the wall and then it tipped dramatically. Look at the height that it went in as it cleared the wall. Lehmann got nowhere near it. Maybe Arsenal's look has changed well and truly for the better.
Thierry Henry's first goal in exactly 8 hours of play. His second longest run ever without scoring in Arsenal's colours. But it's over now and Arsenal remarkably lead. And no wonder that Matthias Sammer was so angry. He felt that Ljungberg just toppled over. The free kick shouldn't have been given. It emphasised his pre-match point at what he sees as Arsenal's diving tactics. And from the resulting free kick, Arsenal, twice having had their own post struck, take the lead. Good defending by Koller. And now Pirés. Foul by Ewerthon on Wiltord. Does Seaman have a case?
Perhaps so. I think the referee was certainly close enough and he will have known how much contact there was, but I don't think Kehl actually kicked Ljungberg. I think he more just a little bit of a push, and Ljungberg, knowing of his presence there, I think has gone over.
Lucky Arsenal. Which is not to detract in any way from the quality of Henry's free kick, because Lehmann was rooted to the spot.
He was. How Henry got the ball over the wall and got it to dip so much. It was quite amazing.
Ricken. Evanilson. Only 4 clubs have ever won here in Champions League competition. Juventus, Ajax, Atletico Madrid, and most recently 3 years ago Rosenborg. The crowd now much quieter than they were 3 or 4 minutes ago. Dédé. Ewerthon.
He's looked particularly keen, Everton. He's looked to get on the ball at every opportunity, and he's made some crucial passes and has inspired them a little bit.
Wiltord nearly caught in possession.
Well, it's a great free kick. So many bodies in front of him. They've probably perhaps squeezed a little bit too tight. Give a little bit of credit maybe to Vieira. He did a good job.
Do you think that Lehmann put too many in the wall so he couldn't actually see what was going on?
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, could well have done. He didn't move, did he? I mean, you would have expected he might have moved a little bit, at least to his right.
Koller was fouled. Free kick Dortmund.
Well, Cygan has been the one who's gone tight to Koller's every opportunity. He's been a little bit more forceful than Campbell, taking a little bit of initiative. Koller has to be challenged.
Dortmund have a little genius from these set pieces in Rosický. They have several others who can strike it. One of them is Koller. Nothing like the quality of Henri's. Here's Wörns. Blocked by Pirés. Metzelder. Played all 7 games for Germany in their run to the World Cup final. That's offside. Lars Ricken.
Certainly Arsenal had a lot of bodies back there, and the Arsenal bench really want Arsenal pushing out and putting pressure on the ball.
Remember, a draw, whatever the other result in this group, will take Arsenal through to the second phase with a game in hand. Henry trying to fend off Evanilson. Again, it's Cygan and Koller, and it falls for Rosický, who's fouled by Campbell.
He's a tricky little customer, Rosický. I think Campbell just deceived slightly the way the ball died. I think it was a case of Rosický being a little bit clever there. He won the foul.
And he'll take the free kick. He's a star in a workman-like team, Rosický. And there's Wörns.
That was a good delivery, just a fraction too high for Wörns to get on the end.
Sent off recently, playing for Germany against Bosnia in what supposedly was a friendly. Matthias, who captained Dortmund to that European Cup victory back in 1997. Ljungberg looks mystified, but it is Borussia Dortmund who have the free kick.
Guilty of just coming in a little bit too late. The ball had gone.
Metzelder. Rosický. Over the top for Ewerthon. Cygan was almost caught out. Koller. Ricken. Ran into trouble. Rosický. Changing the point of the attack for Lars. Ricken. Seaman very aware of where his right-hand post was.
They never really got hold of the shot. Ricken, so many bodies in the way. No angle for him to hit. Well covered.
Pirés. Wiltord in the middle. Henry on the flank. Ljungberg also inside the penalty area, and Vieira.
They worked on Henry to get that cross in. Never really had much of a target to hit. Ljungberg, Vieira weren't in the easiest of positions to find.
A glimpse of the substitutes for Dortmund there. Last in focus, Ahmed Madouni, their French centre-back, who performed so stoically at Highbury. Kehl. Frings. Wörns. Vieira to Kohl. Pirés.
We've seen nothing dynamic yet from Pirés, but he's just easing his way into the game. Obviously, it's a great way of getting back in fitness.
Ljungberg away from Frings. Still Freddie Ljungberg, and now Vieira! He's only ever scored one European goal for the club. Very close to number 2.
Well, good play by Ljungberg. Cruised past Wörns, and then was just aware that Vieira was coming in on the outside. Hard shot to pick out with the outside of the foot.
Dédé. Koller has his arm upraised. That's where it's headed. Cygan. And now Pirés for Arsenal. Good game.
It's fantastic the way that it's gone from end to end. Certainly we felt that perhaps there would be spaces for Arsenal to expose, and they've done that very well. Not seeing a great deal of Wiltord, perhaps a little bit more on the right hand side than we were expecting to see, but Henry has figured in a lot of good things for Arsenal.
Frings. Evanilson. Ewerthon went outside. Cygan able to clear as far as Henry. Ljungberg for company. Borussia Dortmund stretched. Wörns is a little short on pace, as Michael Owen demonstrated that famous night in Munich. Wörns was traumatised for a couple of months after that chasing.
I think all of Germany was traumatised after that one, John.
Sad, wasn't it?
Shouldn't laugh.
Oh, I don't know.
I know, I agree.
Kehl. Koller. Kehl. He's trying to find Ricken. Pirés. Henry. One back by Rosický. Ewerthon. I don't know whether he wears boots or dancing shoes, Rosický, at times.
It was a neat piece of skill to get out of that tight position, but he wasn't fouled. He knew the ball had gone. Oof.
Sam pointing at Arsenal diving, but his own players do it. Evanilson to Koller. Foul, Cygan, free kick, Borussia Dortmund, and this is dangerous.
I think Cygan can have little complaints. I think he did contact with Koller.
The new streamlined David Seaman sets up his wall. Noise level rises around the Westfalenstadion. One or two firecrackers going off around the stadium. Again, a very big wall. Dédé.
Not a great effort by Dédé, but great from Arsenal's point of view. Thought perhaps it was tailor-made for Rosický, but he's leaning back. No problem whatsoever.
Some serious faces around here. Apologies to those who've been with us from kick-off, but for the benefit of latecomers, before Henry's goal, Borussia Dortmund contrived to hit both Arsenal posts without actually beating David Seaman. Frings. Metzelder. Ewerthon. Wörns. Evanilson would have won many more caps for Brazil, but for the brilliant Cafu. Dédé. And now a Brazilian World Cup winner, Gilberto. Wiltord. Vieira. Now Pirés.
Well, that was better by Arsenal up to the end, but they just kept possession a little bit. They made Dortmund run a little bit.
Here's Kehl. Dédé. Cygan. And Dédé was just caught there by Freddie Ljungberg. Kept that hairstyle under wraps. He wore a tea cozy all last week. It's a free kick to Dortmund. There has been a goal at Anfield in the Group B game. Liverpool 0, Valencia 1. Ruffetti with a shot that deflected in off Liverpool skipper Sami Hyypiä. It's a game that Liverpool desperately needs something from. And what Dortmund have here is a throw.
Wiltord now getting back a little bit to aid Laurent to stop that threat of Dédé down this left-hand side.
Dortmund unfortunate still to be behind. Frings certainly unlucky to go behind. Wörns, Campbell, Vieira, and Henri's given chase, and Metzelder only just aware and not too pleased with the goalkeeper's charge out. That was a somewhat dangerous pass from Frings to Wörns.
No real reason for Lehmann to come racing out the way that he did. Wasn't the greatest of play by Metzelder either. He only got the barest of touches off his chest. Would have been a disaster from Borussia's point of view. Henri was closing down well.
Now Ewerthon. Chance for the Brazilian! Well, I think David Seaman's been locked frequently enough by Brazilians, don't you?
Trying to be, it's a hard option to take, the outside of the right foot. Well won by Frings, you have to say. I mean, some goal had it gone in. Just gets under it a little bit too much.
$52,000 sellout inside the Westfalenstadion. We have 68,500 for every Bundesliga game here. It does include some spectators who are allowed to stand. Not the case at Champions League games. And building work currently in progress to take the capacity to a whopping 82,000 in time for the 2006 World Cup. We have high hopes of staging one of the semi-finals here. Rosický. Frings. Evanilson. Koller. Free kick given. Koller down in a heap. Another opportunity for his team, though.
Well, it's debatable whose foot was highest there. Bit fortunate there to get a foul, I think.
Well, whereas with past free kicks there's been a committee meeting, this time David Seaman is threatened primarily by Tomáš Rosický. And there's Koller! Oh, it's gone in! The bounce of Rosicky's free kick defeating Seaman. Sorry to have to say it, but it's happened again to the England keeper.
Well, it was always coming, the pressure that Dortmund were putting Arsenal under. But it's a good ball in for Rosický. And really, Koller will be annoyed that I don't think he didn't get a touch on it. But the flight has deceived Seaman. Reacted awfully late.
It's Zola against Chelsea all over again. This time I think there was a touch. It may just have come off Gilberto, but even so, Seaman was so late to react.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he waited a long time before he leapt off the ground. Whether or not he thought Koller might have got a touch and sent it the other way, into the other side of the goal. It's a terrible goal to give away from Arsenal's point of view.
Well, there's such scrutiny on the England #1 at the moment. Consistency seems to have been replaced by calamity. And whilst he will argue, maybe with some justification, that that little touch off Gilberto made all the difference, I think he would have struggled to get to it anyway. The goal officially given to Rosický, who has now scored against Arsenal in the Champions League for 2 different clubs. He managed it for Sparta Prague a couple of seasons ago as well. On that occasion too, he beat David Seaman.
Well, the goals come in a period where Dortmund was just beginning to get a grip of the game, control a little bit better. 1 or 2 Arsenal players not really figuring in the action that much. Not seeing a great deal of Wiltord, Pirés. Vieira's not really been in it. Game has sort of passed him by slightly. Gilberto's not figured in it. Important that Arsenal get their men on the ball and try and frustrate Dortmund a little bit more.
Arsenal's free kick. There is some heartening news for the Gunners though, as we see the player off whom it flicked, Gilberto, but it really didn't divert the course of the ball very much at all.
It was the slightest of flicks, John, you have to say, just a graze of anything. And really, Koller was the one who should have got onto that ball.
Here's Gilberto. I was about to give you a score from the other group game, which I'll do in just a second. Rosický. Now Dédé. Lauren. In fact, I'll do it now. It is PSV 1, Auxerre 0, which is good news for Arsenal, because if Auxerre don't win, then Arsenal, regardless of their result, will go through tonight. And the goal scorer was Arnold Brugging after 34 minutes. Cygan. Certainly as much as Borussia Dortmund deserve to be level.
Yeah, I think so. Those two opportunities they had were well worked. They have provided some quality. Everton's been a threat. Dédé's looked good down the left-hand side, and more Rosický has come into the game.
Lauren. I don't want to be unfair to David Seaman, David Fairclough, but fingers are going to be pointed.
I think perhaps people will look and see whether he reacted a little bit too late. He did appear to, I have to say, from my point of view. I think it tells. I think he's frustrated. You just saw the reaction when he kicked that up there. I think that's going through his mind.
Henry. Pirés. Good darting break. Dealt with by Metzelder on the half volley.
No, Arsenal player really trying to make a good angle for Pirés. No real options there. Gilberto was in there, but he couldn't be found. A lot of the Dortmund bodies in there, but Ljungberg didn't work hard enough either to find some space.
To Kohl. Kehl, good ball. Ewerthon, and Ricken's darting through the middle. Shepherded by Campbell and by Lauren. It's too deep for Rosický. No shortage of pace on the break for Dortmund.
They're terrific on the break, Dortmund. They have willing players who want to get down that line. Certainly it was Ewerthon started his run a long time before he received the ball. And he had the pace to beat Kohl as well at the end of it.
Here's Vieira. Wörns got to it first. Evanilson trying to stop the throw. Instead, he's got company from Vieira. And the corner flag worked in Arsenal's favour. Wiltord, chance to set himself and to shoot, just wide.
It was a good effort. He knew that he was trying to find the far corner of the goal. Just didn't curl it quite enough. Great ball by Vieira, great work by Vieira though to present that opening. That's what we want to see from Vieira, more driving through that midfield, getting onto the Dortmund back four. It's just not fine enough by Wiltord.
Wörns. Ewerthon. Evanilson. extra minute. With results in the two group games as they are at the moment, Arsenal are heading for the second phase tonight. Remember, PSV 1-up against Auxerre in Holland. And if Auxerre fail to win, Arsenal go through come what may. Frings. Gilberto. Vieira. Arsenal's free kick. Thoughts as we approach half-time, David?
Perhaps a fair result, I think. Arsenal have done well. Dortmund have looked good at times going forward.
Here's Henry. Taking on Evanilson and winning the corner.
Great play by Henry. Had nobody up in support. Just trying to wind that clock down a little bit. Held it up superbly well.
There's Arsenal's goal scorer. Looking forward to half-time, I think. Very deep. It'll be hit by Wiltord! And well hit too. Positive end to a first half that's contained some traumas for Arsenal. Make no mistake about that. There was pace and swerve. Almost deflected off Dédé, but it was fairly close to Jens Lehmann. And no great problem for the number 2 German goalkeeper. But 1-1 at half-time. And Lehmann's opposite number, David Seaman, again in the spotlight, beaten by another long-distance free kick. The calendar of discomfort has... Arsenal at this moment on their way into the second group stage of this year's Champions League. But much can change in the next 45 minutes. And Dortmund will feel maybe slightly unfortunate not to be in front in this game, having twice struck wood. Certainly Koller's first half miss bordered on the unbelievable. And a play from Ashley Cole. Plenty of movement down on the bench. There's Marcio Amoroso, the Brazilian, and behind him Stefan Reuter, the veteran German international.
Little doubt that Dortmund will continue to have a go at Arsenal. They'll want to win this game. And so I'm sure that we'll see a little bit more of Arsenal's threat on the break, on the counter.
Koller. Frings. Cut out by Lauren. Another administrative note from the half-time interval. UEFA have changed their opinion of the scorer of the goal that beat David Seaman. They've acknowledged the touch it took off Gilberto's scalp. And it's now gone down not as a Rosický free kick, but a Gilberto own goal.
I don't think he'd be happy to claim it.
Arsenal have an extraordinary record with own goals. They've only ever scored 3 in the 10 years of the Premiership, and all 3 have been by Brazilians. 2 by Edu, 1 by Silvinho, and it's a Brazilian tonight who's beaten his own goalkeeper, Gilberto. Arsène Wenger's 98th European tie as a manager. Started 14 years ago with Monaco. Here's Cygan. Rosický to Koller. 2 Czech Republic internationals together. Henry. Play on. Dortmund unhappy. Sammer again off the bench. Also worth pointing out that Borussia Dortmund, never mind Arsenal, can qualify tonight. That looked to be out of play.
It was well out. He's been sleeping.
At the other end, Wörns has to make a hasty interception. Doesn't help out Dédé particularly with the clearance. But Dortmund can qualify tonight if they draw and Auxerre lose. In other words, if the scores in the 2 Group A matches remain as they are at the moment, then both Arsenal and Borussia Dortmund will qualify tonight. Here's Vieira. Manhandling Rosický illegally.
Just the size of Vieira, a little bit too much for Rosický. I don't think it was a foul again, really. I think benefit of the doubt going to the little fella.
Pirés. No foul. Evanilson. Koller. Balked from behind, buffeted by Cygan. Vieira argues and is waved away by the Spanish official.
And the Arsenal disappointed that Pirés didn't get a foul, and then just sort of 10 metres away, Borussia get that dubious one by Cygan.
Frings. In the other group game, PSV have now scored a second time against Auxerre through Dennis Rommedahl. PSV Eindhoven 2, Auxerre 0. If Auxerre lose and this stays level, both Arsenal and Dortmund go through tonight. Ricken. Rosický. May not stay level for long. Lauren's header. No great distance on it. Dédé's got it back. And then it's cleared in haste by Gilberto. Evanilson. Kehl. Offside given.
Little doubt they're offside. The picture shows. That was a great spirited run by Dédé. As the ball broke, he certainly wants to win that ball.
Just came up onto Campbell's arm in the D on the edge of the area.
Little place for Campbell really to move his arms. I think just a little bit unfortunate that it caught him. Certainly not a penalty.
Henry. Wiltord. Seaman. Metzelder. Ljungberg. Metzelder. Wörns. Campbell. It'll be picked up by Lauren. Arsenal, who were setting records almost on a weekly basis at one stage, now having to do some defending. There's Koller, well beaten by Campbell. And it's out as far as Sylvain Wiltord. Vieira. Given away. Evanilson. Two of those records now enshrined in history, but not being further extended. 30 games unbeaten in the Premiership until they lost at Everton. 23 away games without defeat in the Premiership until that same afternoon. Dédé. 3 waiting for the cross. There's Koller. Again, Campbell got a piece of it.
He did throw the ball up a lot to Koller. He doesn't win a great deal, you have to say, but it's just nuisance value more than anything else. It's very, at times, a very English style by Dortmund.
Difficult back pass for Lehmann. Wörns.
He did well, because it's not the type of ball you would want if you were a goalkeeper.
Kehl. Frings. Options left and right. Left is Dédé. No shortage of players forward for Borussia Dortmund when they have the ball.
Just getting bogged down a little bit for the moment, Arsenal. They're just being pushed back. Frustration from the coaching side of you. They want them pressing the ball a little bit more.
Now, 3 against 3. Henry with Ljungberg to the right. Freddie Ljungberg for Arsenal. Tried the chip. Always going wide.
Well, it was good play by Henry. And certainly that was on to clip it over the goalkeeper. Metzelder was awfully slow to close Ljungberg down. He just glanced up, just come off the side of his foot.
Wiltord. Ljungberg. Arsenal's next Barclaycard Premiership engagement is at Loftus Road against Fulham on Sunday. And we have a Worthington Cup tie next midweek against Sunderland at Highbury, when the likes of Parlour and Van Bronckhorst may well be given their comeback opportunities.
I think the ball had well gone by Pirés. Again, he knew that there was a trailing leg in there, so he took advantage.
Henry. Campbell. Telegraphed, really. Pirés. Evanilson. Rosický. Ricken. Wrong option in the crowd's view. Confirmed by Arsenal winning possession back. Gilberto. Ricken. At the post after 70 seconds.
He likes to get forward, Dédé, down that left-hand side. On a couple of occasions now, he's made great runs, and Dortmund have just not looked up and picked him out. That's what's frustrating the crowd. But when he goes forward, it's important that Arsenal, if they win the ball, that they do take advantage of that space that he is leaving down that Arsenal right-hand side.
Foul there by Freddie Ljungberg. Frings. That's all that Dédé could do to keep it in. Anything more than that's a bonus. Kehl. Rosický. Frings. And now Sylvain Wiltord for Arsenal. His record in Germany down the years isn't that great. 2 wins in 8 previous visits. Most recently at Werder Bremen in the UEFA Cup 3 seasons ago, when Torsten Frings again was among the opposition. Henry. And here is Frings. Dédé. Koller pulls away in the middle between Kohl and Cygan. Beyond all of them is Ewerthon. Around Ashley Cole, who recovered well.
A super ball by Dédé, well taken by Ewerthon. Good skill, but good defending as well by Ashley Cole. They're a nice contrast. The 2 Brazilians in the 3 Brazilians in this side. They do have a lot of flair, a lot of great natural ability. They all like going forward as well. Evanilson, Dédé and Ewerthon. Well, that's better from Arsenal. That's what they have to do a little bit more of.
You never lose it.
I was just thinking exactly the same. They could have found a Borussia man though. I think German television might show this one a couple of times again. Keep your eye on the ball. That's the way, Matthias.
Something about ginger-haired players, isn't it, David? How they retain their skills.
Very much so. Class.
Ewerthon. Metzelder. Wörns. Evanilson. Scooting away from Ljungberg, who stretched and took the ball. It was a good tackle.
Great tackle by Ljungberg. Willingness to chase back. And that's what's needed as well at the moment. Trying to stop Borussia getting on top. And certainly he's looked to get forward a little bit more in the second half, Evanilson.
Liverpool in Group B still a goal down against Valencia. Rufetti, the scorer, aided by deflection off Sami Hyypiä. And in the other Group A game, Arsenal's group, PSV Eindhoven leading Auxerre by 2-0, which means that a draw between these two will send them both through to the second phase tonight. There's no sign of any form of collusion out there, because Borussia Dortmund are certainly going for it in front of their demanding supporters. Koller. Frings. Kehl. And Arsène Wenger, for one, is very keen to win the group. Let's put a premium on that.
Well, you do have the benefit of just having one of the group winners with you in the second leg, and I think that he feels that is an advantage. Well, I think in Champions League it doesn't really matter. A lot of good sides, tricky sides to beat.
Kehl. Dédé. Metzelder. Frings. Ljungberg to Henry. It's 1 against 1. Wörns in danger here. Vieira alongside now. Still it's Henry. And Frings did very well.
Well, he delayed it a little bit too much. He gave Frings the opportunity to come down and close him up. And really, Wörns was there to have a go at. Henry should have been much more penetrative.
Off goes Jan Koller. Out comes Seaman. Decision is given. Penalty kick. A nonplussed goalkeeper.
Well, has Jan Koller ever beaten anybody in a race? That was, I mean, really, Koller should never have got on the end of this ball, and he knew exactly what he was going to do. He just had to touch it. I don't think Seaman actually made contact with him. It was a hurdle more than anything else. And the earth shuddered as he hit the floor. But really, Koller should never have got on the end of this ball.
6'7.5", 15.5 stone, bearing down on David Seaman, who has escaped without a card.
But he even made a yard up on Cygan. Koller, you would never expect to beat Cygan.
It's to be Tomáš Rosický, the crown prince of Czech football, to put Dortmund in front. Very good penalty. Seaman went the right way, but it crept just inside the post. And for the 4th game in a row, Arsenal find themselves 2-1 down.
Well, they shouldn't be, really. The 2 poor goals. But it was only a hurdle. And Koller, you know, I mean, if Seaman was making much of Arsenal's diving before the game, then we have seen Dortmund do equally as much, if not more, in this one. I think Henry may be a little bit annoyed with himself. He had a good opportunity there, a good one-on-one. I thought Henry was just ideally placed to go past Wörns, and it's from that break that Dortmund take the lead.
Rosicky's name chanted in typical fashion. By the home supporters, encouraged by the stadium announcer. Is it to be a fourth successive defeat for Arsenal? Vieira. They're made of stern stuff, Arsenal. Surely there's a response of some sort. Wiltord, still half an hour to play. Henry! No power in the header. Last time that Arsenal were defeated 4 times in a row, November 1983.
Well, the ball was so high and he just couldn't get enough on it, and it was a long way out from goal as well. But if Wiltord just been able to get a little bit more power on the cross, it would have helped Henry, certainly.
Well, Sammer is continuously off the bench now for Borussia Dortmund, trying to encourage the referee to make decisions in his side's favour, which he's done on this occasion.
Well, I think Ewerthon caught his own leg. His right foot kicking his left.
Sebastian Kehl. Evanilson. Frings. Offside.
There was a delayed reaction by the assistant referee, but he was offside. Thought for a split second that he was going to let it go. It's a perfect penalty, though. Well hit, finds the inside of the netting. Knows exactly where it's going.
Huge noise now, right around the Westfalenstadion. Another unfortunate night for David Seaman, one way and another.
Will he be regretting he had his hair cut?
Vieira. Good ball. Goalkeeper started to come. Evanilson clears. One piece of mitigating news for Arsenal is that PSV are now 3 up on Auxerre in the other game in this group. Robben has scored after 64 minutes. And Auxerre are down to 9 men. Philippe Mexes and Olivier Capot both sent off. So there seems no way back for Auxerre there. Here's Vieira. And still both the teams in front of us here in Germany on course for the second phase tonight. And Kolo Touré is going to come on shortly for Arsenal.
Well, it's a good time, I think, for Arsenal just to introduce a bit of a change. Just in need of that little bit of something different.
Campbell. Came off Dédé. It is a very good test this now for Arsenal, isn't it? Because sides respond in one of 2 ways to adversity like this. The moderate teams just wallow in self-pity. The teams that aspire to greatness roll up their sleeves and come back stronger still. Most
definitely, and Arsenal have the experience, and I think they have the heart to come back as well. Never write off Arsenal.
Pirés off. Kolo Touré, who's played at some point in every game for Arsenal in this his first season with the club, on.
I was no surprise to see Pirés come out. He did gently ease himself into the game. Hasn't really done that much of on the ball, but nice way of breaking in. But it's too big a game, really, I think, to risk Pirés. I think it was a gamble. I don't think it really has paid off.
And he'll be back on Sunday at Fulham. Should be a game, really, David, that's more like a French league fixture with the number of Frenchmen involved. Fulham against Arsenal.
Yeah, you couldn't argue with that, John, certainly.
And we're also going to see the 36-year-old Stefan Reuter very soon for Borussia Dortmund.
I think he'll be brought on to provide a little bit of extra protection to that back line. I'm sure you won't see Reuter venture too far away from that little space in front of Wörns and Metzelder.
An attacking lineup picked by Matthias for Dortmund tonight. So far it's paying off. Twice they hit the post, twice they've scored, and they lead 2-1. Familiar if painful score for Arsenal followers at the moment. Ricken defeated by Touré's first touch of the game.
He might be the one to make way, Ricken, I fancy. He's taken off Kehl, who is also a defensive midfield player in reality. I just thought he might have been a little bit more cautious, Sama.
Veteran of the 1990 World Cup final, in which he came on as a substitute for Thomas Berthold and was on the pitch when Andy Bremer won the game against Argentina from the penalty spot. Stefan Reuter, who's nearly a year older than his manager, Matthias Sammer. Cygan. Here is Reuter. Awfully good player for an awfully long time.
A little bit of experience, certainly, there now.
Reuter. Dortmund made a sluggish start to the Bundesliga season. When they came to Highbury, it was a little kick by Vieira, more accidental than anything else. It was right in front of Sammer. But when they came to Highbury 6 weeks ago, they played 5 domestic league games and drawn 4 of them. But since Highbury, which seemed to be a seminal point in their season, 4 wins and a draw, and they're just 3 points behind Bayern in second place in the Bundesliga, and the two sides meet in Munich at the end of next week. Gilberto. Vieira. Toure. Metzelder. Cygan. Evanilson. That was out of play. Arsenal want to take the throw quickly with Ashley Cole. The fact that Arsenal are behind doesn't detract from the fact that they are heading for the second phase tonight because of PSV's 3-0 lead over Auxerre. And Dortmund too are going through. Here's Lars Ricken. Dortmund have gone out at the first phase, the last 2 occasions they've been in the competition. This is Thomas Rosický for Dortmund. And that was a block by Cole.
Well, he had to be alive, Ashley Cole, as the ball cleared Koller. He had to make sure he closed down that space in front of Thomas Rosický and give him no opportunity, no chance of a clear view on goal. And he just does enough.
Rosický to take. Too high for Koller, just. Ricken. Dédé. And Koller went down, he was tangling with Vieira. Here's Stefan Reuter. It's a very good block by Gilberto, and the flag's up now, near side of the pitch.
Well, the referee was closer to those incidents, but it's clearly the assistant that gave the decision on the foul. A little bit late by Vieira.
I think the flag was up before
Gilberto, yeah. I think that's the one he gave the foul for, from Gilberto.
And not from Vieira.
No, that's right, and he's just led with the studs, and that was the signal from the referee's assistant. But they get the foul in the place of the second incident.
4 fingers up, 4 in the wall for Arsenal. Torsten Frings, tincture of concentration. Likewise the Arsenal and England goalkeeper. From 2-1 there's a way back for Arsenal. From 3-1 it would be mighty difficult. It's Torsten Frings, straight into that 4-man wall.
No deftness about that free kick, just sheer power.
Arsenal's ball. At the moment, it's back to the bad old days away from home in the Champions League for Arsenal. They've lost 9 of 11 away games prior to the very encouraging early season victories at PSV and Auxerre. Evanilson. It's all the more galling to see what's unfolded in front of them this evening when we've seen them play such joyous football so recently.
Well, Borussia really haven't given them much opportunity, but I would have expected Arsenal to have done a little bit more going forward.
Given away by Evanilson to Ljungberg, and this is Henry. And Gilberto is the most advanced Arsenal player.
He's been so much of the threat, Henry, for Arsenal, really. Ljungberg, Wiltord not really been in it, not really aided Henry, I think, as you would hope in an away leg.
Ashley Cole's gone down for Arsenal. He clashed with Ricken. He also seemed to fall slightly awkwardly, and he does seem to be in quite a bit of pain. First time that Gary Lewin, the Arsenal physio, has been on the pitch. Oh, it was boot to face, wasn't it? Nothing that Ricken could really do about it because Cole was falling towards him.
Yeah, he did try and manoeuvre his foot out of the way.
Well, there's a double helping of Premiership football on ITV1 this weekend. On Saturday, we've got Manchester United against Southampton, Liverpool versus West Ham from the top end, and Birmingham against Bolton from the other end. The show starts at 10:30. And then on Sunday, Fulham against Arsenal tops the bill from 11:15, also on ITV1. And our website, itv.com/football, has all the details. Ashley Cole's ready to come back on. Frings, Rosický. Well in by Campbell. Vieira. Gilberto. Now Wiltord. Ljungberg. Torres, just too strong for Henry. Ljungberg dumped on the seat of his pants.
By Reuter, it was a hefty challenge by Reuter. I don't think the ball was anywhere near.
Referee's going for his pocket. Stefan Reuter has been booked belatedly for the challenge on Ljungberg. Decent piece of officiating really by the Spaniard to allow play to develop until there's a natural break.
Yeah, that's right. And also in a hopeful position.
Do the Germans play rugby?
He was slow getting there, Reuter.
There as quickly as he could. Evanilson being urged to hurry up. Koller. Matthias, who sadly was forced to give up the game, at which he excelled at the very premature age of 32. Former European Footballer of the Year. Metzelder. There's an arm up from Wiltord there. Rosický. Kanu's coming on very shortly for Arsenal. Maybe Edu might be joining him. Now Ewerthon off and running, and quickly out is Seaman. Certainly Kanu coming on in place of Wiltord.
Well, maybe to give a little bit of help for Henry, a little bit more down the middle. Wiltord's been a little bit out of the action, forced to play down their right-hand side. perhaps it's certainly not a bad idea. Arsenal not really had much joy going forward in the second half.
Vieira. It is Arsenal's free kick. Frings is standing in the way of it. Kanu. And Gilberto's pursued it. Arsenal players swarming into the box, and they'll stay there for the corner. No shortage of desire on Arsenal's part to repair the damage. Henry with it. Kanu, and the referee had seen, aided by his assistant on the far side, and I think the corner curled out of play and then came back in.
Yeah, sadly there was no foul from Kanu.
I'm not sure that it did, you know.
No, I mean there was no foul there, certainly not from Kanu. He was the one under pressure from the two Dortmund defenders.
One Brazilian for another. Off goes Gilberto, who's contributed an own goal, to be replaced by a player who only 4 days ago also scored an own goal, Edu. Ten minutes to play in Dortmund. Evanilson. Touré. Dédé. Now Touré again. Vieira. Edu. Ljungberg to Vieira. Thierry Henry's lurking on the edge of the Dortmund penalty area. It's not going to come to him in a hurry. Here's Koller. And now Frings.
It's always a good outlet ball for Dortmund, one over to the flanks, because there's always somebody prepared to go and have a chase.
Henry. Edu. Vieira to Ljungberg. Arsenal, who led in this game in the first half through Thierry Henry's free kick. Gilberto's own goal made it 1-1 at half-time, since when Rosicky's penalty has put Dortmund in front for the first time. And if it stays like this, and if PSV go on to rubber stamp their victory over Auxerre, they're 3 up against 9 men. Dortmund will top the group tonight with 10. Arsenal will have 9 points, PSV 5 and Auxerre 4, all of which means that both Dortmund and Arsenal will confirm their places in the second phase with a game each to spare. Ljungberg. Taking on Dédé. Now winning only a throw.
Well, he hasn't had to defend a great deal, Dédé. He's looked more an attacking force tonight, always looking to get forward. On that occasion, it was good defensive play, very strong in the tackle.
Frings. Wörns. Campbell. Vieira. Jörg Heinrich is going to be next. Flurry of substitutions late in this game. Christian Wörns. Evanilson. Surprised we haven't seen Amoroso, neither of the Brazilians for Dortmund yet. Here's Edu. And now Kolo Touré, who likes nothing better than open ground ahead of him. It'll come to Cole. Ljungberg waiting. Cross sliced off the outside of Cole's boot, and it's behind for a goal kick.
I think Touré got into that position and was a little bit doubtful of which way to go. Wasn't convincing as he raced into that penalty area.
Lars Ricken, who hit the post after 72 seconds, comes off with just over 6 minutes to play to a very fine ovation. And another local hero, Jörg Heinrich, capped on 37 occasions by Germany, is on for the last few minutes, which means that Stefan Reuter takes over the armband. Interesting that he should do so now, because Christian Wörns, who started the night as team captain, is still on the pitch. Reuter. Edu apologises for making contact with him a little late. Edu. Going to be mixed emotions for Arsenal flying home tonight, if they've qualified for the second phase but at the same time suffered a fourth consecutive 2-1 defeat. Still time to mend matters. Henry. Passed by Heinrich. Kanu. Freddie Ljungberg couldn't get there. Just ran and bobbled away from him at the crucial moment.
Well, it might have just bobbled, because there is an area that's just been, looks like it's been relayed with turf, and just sort of bobbled off his foot. Looked for a second as he was just going to get that challenge in.
Dédé got a touch to it, I think,
yeah,
as well.
Just like he was going to put a toe on the end of it, Ljungberg.
Foul on Frings by Edu. 2-1 again. Koller. Cygan. Now Touré. Cleanly won by Rosický. Jan Koller. Reuter. Heinrich. Do you have any worries or disputes with the scoreline?
No, I think Dortmund certainly deserved to be ahead, John. I think they gave Arsenal that opportunity. Well, they got off the hook with those two efforts to hit the post, but they've shown great, I think, class really to come back and take the lead after Arsenal went in front.
Kanu to Henry, and Ljungberg sprinting through the middle. Has Henry seen him? Apparently not.
Not easy to pick out Ljungberg. They're just sort of between the two central defenders. Not as sure with his delivery with his left foot as he is with his right, Henry.
Cole. Metzelder. And Ljungberg. Henry! Didn't meet it quite as sweetly as he might have wished.
Well, I think Metzelder had the shout from Dédé, but certainly shouldn't have headed it back into that danger zone. And Henry will think that is a chance gone begging for sure. You would have expected him to do much better. I think Dédé said after Metzelder down, he did shout. A terrible header down.
Edu. Henry. It's a goal kick. whatever Thierry might think.
It's done well with the referee from that angle, picking that one out. Playing as if he's ahead at the moment in the game. Clearly the right decision.
Here's Madouni, Moroccan-born French defender. Last permissible substitution for Matthias. And off comes the outstanding Tomáš Rosický, whose free kick flicked off Gilberto's head for the equalising Dortmund goal, and who then dispatched the penalty after Seaman was adjudged to have brought down Koller. Up from Koller to the linesman. They confirm Dortmund's throw, and they're in no great hurry to do anything now. 4 additional minutes signalled by the 4th official. Foul given by that same referee's assistant.
Very fortunate. Rick never looked like winning that. It was going nowhere, Heinrich.
Torsten Frings to take this. 4 forward, including the newly arrived Madouni. Played confidently by Seaman. Bowls it out to Vieira. Canu. Touré. Henry. Ball clipped his heel. There's no great ambition left for Borussia Dortmund now.
I think they're in 2 minds. I don't know whether they know how to approach this game. They just want to see the final whistle, hear the final whistle. Don't want to venture too far up, and they're not really getting that many men forward either.
And Arsenal too will know that as things stand in the other group game, PSV still 3-0 up on the 9 remaining men of Auxerre. They, like Dortmund, are going through come what may. Madouni. Good work by Arsène in winning their opening 3 group games without conceding a goal. Is going to see them through. Campbell. Wörns. Headlines that will accompany 4 successive defeats, though, after that flying opening, will not be pleasant for Arsenal to experience. Loads a bit more significance onto Sunday's Barclaycard Premiership engagement at Fulham. Ewerthon. It's a corner. Last touch was off Lauren.
Lauren certainly shouldn't have allowed Dédé to win that corner, but he's been superb down our left-hand side for Dortmund. Dédé, very impressed with him.
The corner is short to Frings. 3 Dortmund attackers. Easy for Seaman. And any urgency out on the pitch is coming from Arsenal now. Missed by Metzelder. Henry, who already tonight has scored his 22nd UEFA Champions League goal. That's a corner. One minute left. 1 minute for Arsenal to find the goal to disappoint Matthias and halt this run of defeats. Henry. Comes off Reuter. Touré. Lauren. Vieira. Virtually everyone back for Borussia Dortmund now. Koller Touré. Trying to work some space for a shot which is deflected. Still time for one more corner, David.
Yeah, that's right, and Edu wants to make sure that there will be a better delivery on this occasion. Nervous Dortmund fans.
15 seconds to play. Arsenal trailing 2-1 again. And Lehmann with a very good take.
Well, it was a great delivery in by Edu. It was a fabulous take by the goalkeeper at such a stage of the game.
Referee looks at his watch. It's all over. Lehmann's take was the final act. It's 4 defeats in a row for Arsenal, all by the same scoreline. It's their worst run under Arsène Wenger, their leanest in fact for 19 years, but they still qualify for the second phase with a game to spare. Their failings again evident. They could afford to live off their flying